My name is Rick Colacito, and I'm Professor of Finance at the Kenan-Flagler Business School. Today I would like to talk about my research on the effects of rising temperatures on U.S. economic activity. This is joint work with Bridget Hoffman at the Inter-American Development Bank and with Tuan Pan at the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond. So climatologists project that temperatures, global temperatures, are going to rise by up to 4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. And so as economists, a natural question that came to our mind was, can we assess what the potential impact of these rising temperatures is going to be on U.S. economic activity? And so we answered this question by looking at a very large historical data set of U.S. temperatures, and we exploited random fluctuations in seasonal temperatures across states and years in a panel regression framework. And in this empirical framework, we wanted to analyze the impact of temperatures, of seasonal temperatures, on the growth rate of gross state product, or GSP. The finding of our research is that rising summer temperatures have a negative impact on the growth rate of gross state product, of GSP, while to a much smaller extent, rising fall temperatures have a positive impact on the growth rate of GSP. We also document in our paper that this effect of this negative effect of rising summer temperatures has become progressively larger during the course of the last 20 years or so. So we also document in the manuscript, in the paper, that the negative effect of rising summer temperatures is substantially larger in those states whose average temperatures are higher compared to the rest of the country. So in equivalent terms, this means that the effects of rising summer temperatures are likely not equally distributed across various regions in the United States. Another thing that we document in our paper is that the negative effect of rising summer temperatures has a widespread effect on the entire cross-section of U.S. industries, above and beyond those sectors of the economy which are naturally exposed to weather and to changing climatic conditions, such as, for example, agriculture and construction. In particular, in the paper, we document that the effect is very pervasive, and it affects many industries, including finance, real estate, insurance, wholesale, retail. And in total, all of these sectors that are negatively affected by rising summer temperatures account for roughly 1/3 of total national product, of total national GDP. Another thing that we do in our paper is we combine our estimated impact coefficients with the projected temperature increases that climatologists have projected until the end of the century. And we do this by combining our analysis with the forecast made by climatologists under 16 general circulation models that are made under 3 possible greenhouse gas emission scenarios, a high one, a medium one, and a low one. Under the most conservative scenario, the projected increase in seasonal temperatures by the end of the century is expected to have a negative impact on total output between 0.2 and 0.4 percentage points. And these numbers are non-negligible, and in fact, if we combine them with the historical average growth rate of U.S. GDP of roughly 4% per year, this would amount to a reduction of roughly 10% in the actual growth rate of U.S. output. Under the most extreme scenario, the high greenhouse emission scenario, these numbers become even more dramatic. In fact, the projected impact on the growth rate of GDP could be up to 1/3 of the historical average growth rate of US output. Of course, these numbers have to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. They have to be considered as lower bound, or rather upper bounds on the potential impacts of rising temperatures on US economic activity, because they do not take into account the possible adaptation that is very likely going to take place during the course of this century. And it doesn't take into account potential technological change, which could also dampen this negative effect of rising temperatures on economic activity. So this is my research, and I'm looking forward to expanding my understanding of the connection between changing climatic conditions, financial markets, and the economy as a whole.